Kumkaran, if you love me, go and kill my enemies. Ravan ordered. Kumkaran had to obey his brother, so he got out of his enormous bed and walked towards the battlefield. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm reading book Ramayan, and today is the last part. Ram killed Ravan, and Ram Sita Lakshman came back to Ayodhya. So let's continue. He was so huge and massive, it appeared as if a big mountain had entered the battlefield. Kumkaran lifted Sugriv and Hanuman easily. He thrashed Hanuman on the ground and tucked Sugriv under his arm. But Sugriv managed to escape by leaping high into the sky and stood behind Ram. The enraged Kumkaran challenged Ram, and a fierce battle was waged. Ram used one of his powerful weapons and chopped Kumkaran's arms and legs. He used another weapon which separated Kumkaran's head from his body. Kumkaran died. The Vanars felt very happy at this success. Ravan was shocked to hear about Kumkaran's death. Even then, he decided to continue the war, so he sent his son Devanthak, Naranthak, Trishiraksha, and Atikai to the battle. But they were no match for the Vanars, and soon Ravan received news about their deaths too. Ravan was terribly shaken by these losses. Grief-stricken, he slumped to the ground. Indrajit, who saw his father lose courage, tried to instill some confidence in him and said, "Father, as long as I alive, please do not think of defeat. This time my arrows will not spare Ram and Lakshman. I will soon be back victorious." Apart from being very brave and very good at warfare, Indrajit also possessed immense magical powers. While his arrows hit Ram and Lakshman and caused some injuries, he used his magical powers upon the entire Vanar's army. This spread a poisonous gas in the air, and soon most of the Vanars tumbled down. Even Lakshman were not spared. Jamvat, who was fighting at the other end, quickly called Hanuman and told him, "Maruti, you cross the ocean, go to Kailash mountain, and from there fetch a rare herb called Sanjeevani. We can then bring back all the Vanars and our beloved Lakshman. But be very quick." Even before Jamvant finished saying this, Hanuman flew across with the speed of wind, and since he could not find Sanjeevani, transported the entire mountain to Lanka. Very soon, Lakshman and the Vanars were up on their feet, fit and fighting. Indrajit once again used his magical powers and turned a Rakshasi to look exactly like Sita. He then took his fake Sita to the battlefield in full view of Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Sugriv, and others served her head. The Vanars were aghast. Ram turned numb with shock, and Lakshman vowed to kill Indrajit then and there. He chased Indrajit to a temple where Indrajit acquired more secret powers. Lakshman destroyed this secret power by using a suitable weapon and also struck down Indrajit's head. The Vanars rejoiced at this triumph. Ram felt very relieved that Lakshman had come to no harm, and also that it was not Sita who died at Indrajit's hand. Indrajit's death was the severest blow to Ravan. He had lost all his sons, his brothers, and his army in the war. The whole of Lanka plunged into sorrow. Some criticized Supnakha for provoking Ravan into kidnapping Sita. Others cursed Ravan for his misdeed. "His lust for a woman has caused us so many agony," lamented the citizens, for there was death and destruction in each and every house in Lanka. Ravan climbed into his chariot and entered the battlefield with a fierce determination to kill Ram. But first of all, he had to encounter Lakshman. Ravan stopped the arrows used by Lakshman in mid-air. He then turned his attention toward Ram. Severe fighting broke out between Ram and Ravan. Ravan used many powerful arrows, but Ram could stop each one of them in mid-air. The arrows would become useless and fall down. But then, even Ram's arrows were futile as they could not penetrate the armor worn by Ravan. This was an armor guaranteed to Ravan by Brahma as a boon, and ordinary arrows could not penetrate through it. With Ravan and Ram both equally powerful, the battle between them was very fierce and raged on for several days. Even the celestial gods watched them anxiously, as the war did not seem to end at all. But slowly, Ravan felt drained of energy and knew that his end was close at hand. Still, he fought. Finally, Ram used Brahmastra, the mightiest of all mighty weapons. It tore the armor worn by Ravan and hit them in the chest. The mighty Ravan fell down and died. The evil was vanquished. The Devas rejoiced over the death of the wicked Rakshas. The Vanars went back with joy. Only Vibhishan, Mandodari, and Ravan's other queens were plugged into grief. On Ram's advice, Vibhishan performed Ravan's last rites. Ram, who was the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, thus brought peace to the land. All the rishis and devas rejoiced that Rakshas had been wiped out. Ram kept up his word and crowned Vibhishan as the king of Lanka. Shri Ram then sent Hanuman to fetch Sita. Sita Devi was very happy that at least the wicked Ravan had been killed. She looked forward to rejoice her beloved Ram. But he did not accept her immediately. He wanted to test whether she had remained devoted to him. So he said, "There is always a question about you, that it is impossible to believe a womanizer like Ravan had not touched a beautiful woman like you. People will thought that you are impure. They did not accept you." Ram's word filled Sita's heart with sadness. She had given up food and water and had barely kept herself alive, only to reunite with Ram. The distressed Sita turned towards Lakshman and asked him to prepare a pyre for her. Ram was shocked. Sita jumped into the pyre and prayed to Agni, the god of fire, to rescue her only if she had remained pure. Kuber, Yam, Varun, Indra, Shiv, Brahma, and other gods and goddesses who witnessed this scene from the sky came down to earth and conveyed to Ram, "Ramchandra, you are the Lord of universe, and all the accusations are baseless. Sita is pure," they said to Ram. Brahma placed his hand on Ram's shoulder and told him, "You are Narayan, Sita is Lakshmi. As a divine couple, you are far above suspicious and distrust." By then, Agni gently carried Sita out from the pyre and told Ram, "Sri Ram, Sita is as pure as me. Please accept her." Ram's doubts were cleared and joyfully he accepted Sita. Ram, Sita, and Lakshman were blessed by all the gods. Ram's exile had come to an end, so he bade goodbye to all his Vanar's friends. He thanked Vibhishan for his help. Ram, Sita, and Lakshman, accompanied by Sugriv and Hanuman, left for Ayodhya in Pushpak Viman arranged by Vibhishan. On their flight, Sita and Ram identified the places they had stayed during the exile. Ram also showed her the Rishyamukh, Pampa Lake, Shabri's ashram, and Kishkinda, and the forest where he had roamed, pinning for Sita. The Pushpak Viman reached Ayodhya. Bharat was waiting for Ram's return. He prostrated before his brother and begged him to take charge of the kingdom. Kaushalya, Kaikeyi, Sumitra, and Vashishtha blessed Ram, and with their consent, Ram agreed to become the king. Soon Ram was crowned the king of Ayodhya. The coronation was conducted on a grand scale. Ram and Sita were seated on the throne. Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan stood behind them. Hanuman sat at Ram's feet. People rejoiced about this happy event. The festivities continued for a week and Ram made generous gifts to everyone. Sri Ram ruled over Ayodhya for many years. People lived a happy, contented life in the kingdom, and this glorious reign was hailed as Ram Rajya. So, this is the story of Ramayana. The epic was written by Maharshi Valmiki. Reading Ramayana will help us to follow Ram's ideas, his devotion towards his parents, his values, and his truthfulness. Let us all strive to be better human beings. So, this is it. I'll be back soon with another story with another book. So, till then, keep smiling.